into the depths of the sewers. If you see the camera fall forward, that's me having missed my place on the step. Well, stage 1.
This is a sound conducting tour.
Stage 2. Is it?
Yeah.
That's
I
good.
think. Oh no, there are people here.
Right, here we go. Lots of people. Right. We've been on the ground floor. The smell is not too bad. Bonjour. Well, if you ever wanted to know how they managed to get those manholes off the road so you could get down into the sewers, here's your answer. Simple, really. This is how they do it in Paris, anyway. They've got the uniform. Anyway, on to the real thing. After some rather alarming shots of the flooding of Paris in 1910, you come to this interactive machine, which is in English as well, and which shows you where all the different types of water, how they're transferred from your house to the outfalls and to the reprocessing plant. Then, that's in English as well. So in this one, you then come to a sort of diorama of information in French only, but pretty clear. Basically, showing you the story of water. You might notice one thing, which was the mention of this guy called Sir Richard Wallace. Now, there are fountains throughout Paris, which this drinking fountains, which this guy contributed after his father died and left him a fortune. Anyway, more of him later. By the way, as you're walking along, looking at everything, you may like to be a little careful about the drops, because above your head, this big pipe which we saw earlier, in fact water condenses on it. I think it's fresh water, and the water condenses on the outside and drips down. So while you're standing there having a checking things out, you're liable to find some water on your head, which, as you're in a sewer, can be a little nerve-wracking. There, see that drop there? Anyway, continue. Well, this device is called a machine gun. Yes, I know, where's the muzzle? But basically, it's pushed along, or was pushed along, I can't believe they use this kind of thing nowadays, by workers, and it gathered up the grit in the bottom of the sewer. You see, there's the shape of the sewer, and they gathered up the grit, and presumably they emptied it into this thing at the back to clean it out. Seems like rather hard work to me. No doubt there'll be a modern version later on. Oh well, there we are. Okay, well this shows how the machine gun was used. It's called a machine gun because it used to be pushed along in bursts, apparently. The reverse way, which I thought, the guy stands behind it, and every now and again he opens the gate, and the water is flowing from behind him forwards. So it then rushes through the gate, pushing the rubbish, the grit and everything, ahead. And apparently every now and again there's some basins where it all falls into and it's gathered. So that's the way it's worked. And then he closes the gate, pushes it a bit further to along the clear bit, opens the gate again and pushes the rubbish a bit further along. Well, there you have it. Okay, now if you can see this seems to be the modern version of the old one we've just seen. It's a dredger or something like for narrower, they say narrower sewers. The demonstrations look pretty wide, so goodness knows how wide the biggest ones are. Anyway, there we are. That looks a bit more modern to me. Interesting. Well, on we go. Well, here we are in Suez. We've been on quite a few walks through the various sewers. And this one has in the middle, and you can brave yourself at walking over a grill over the sewers, a very good display of the history of the Paris sewers and an explanation of how everything worked. Well worth it. It's a long time to read everything. Anyway, here we are, continuing on. I'll just walk, and you can, for a brief bit, I'll get this sort of pattern. This is Alma. They're walking underneath. My God, there's some big pipes here. Check out these. Anyway, let's continue. The smell isn't actually as bad as you might think. Some old things the other side, and always to one side we see, yes, that's the sewer. Okay, this way. We have a diorama here, the flushing reservoir. I see. Oh. Let's move on. I hear the dulcet tones of a French lecturer. Maybe it's a group ahead of us. Whatever it is, it's certainly a very big gallery. Well, this is what they were looking at. I don't know what that's... Actually, it's really very liquid. There's not much floating in there, I'm pleased to say. Or it doesn't appear to be, at least as far as I'm concerned. Now here ahead, I think I'll just wait till after she's finished screaming. Well, this is pretty much out of focus, and you'll probably be glad of that, because what you're looking at is the flow out of one of Paris's main sewers. Yep, that's what it looks like. Anyway, here we've got the actual balls which they use, the modern ones, for the sewers to clean them. Really quite clever in using the power. Give you a scale, there they are. Now behind you can see that's the way a ball, the biggest ball, fits into the main sewer. There's Helen. So you can get some idea of the scale. It's actually driven along by the water. So it clears it out. You see there's just a bit of space at the bottom. So it rolls along like something out of Indiana Jones, I suppose. Now there's an idea. The way to the surface, but unfortunately for us at this moment it's interdit. Well, we've walked away from the balls through a little tunnel, and this used to be one of the big gates that they lift or close depending on whether there's overflow. Anyway, you don't know about that. So I'll look round. It's a bit narrow here. This is the sewer down here on the left. Sorry about the bump. I just want to get my camera out of the way. Well, we'll stagger down here. See how we go. Oh, pretty narrow. And there. Well, I certainly don't want to go down there. I think we'll persevere. No, this is where we were before. The Galerie Adolphe Mille. Well, we made that. Sit around and see Helen coming. Yeah, there we are. Safe, safe. Well, that's the last look of the rough part of the sewers trip. Pretty good, and the English translations give you a good idea of what's going on. Anyway, there we are, and you turn around towards the end Mineralisation in a glass door, does this mean the smell will end? Not that it was that bad. Still, here we go. Let's have a go. Well, there is a Wallace fountain. You'll see that a lot of those. Actually, there are 113 in Paris, I'm told. They look exactly the same as ones I've seen in Barcelona. Funny. Maybe it's a common thing. Maybe he did more than one place. Well, this is not a red carpet. It's actually red painted metal. There's lots of little digital things, including a WC. So you can contribute to what you've just seen. And there's even a little boutique to buy things. And a wrap that appears to be being hung at the end. Well, how about that? Well, having contributed to what we've just seen, we're going to, I'm afraid, make a head for the exit. There it is. Don't know how many steps. Let's give it a go. I see daylight. No? Perhaps not. Actually, it's not too many steps, and I'm sure I see daylight there. Helen's gone ahead. Haven't heard any screams. So presumably, yes, we have daylight. And there she is. Checking things out. And there behind her, yes, it's the Eiffel Tower. Anyway, that's where we've just come from. Not too many steps. And I can urge you, really, do visit the Musée des Égouts de Paris. It's well worth it, and it doesn't smell too bad.